Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of wine.
And whine about our stressful working mom lives while trying to offer up some resources to help both our stressful working mom lives and yours.
That's right. So when I went shopping to find the wine for our TikTok live that we did, which we should probably be doing more of those, I found another 19 Crimes wine. So
Ooh.
this one is The Banished. He's all
Ooh, that
scratched
one
out.
looks scary.
I know. It's a dark red. The Banished is a tribute to James McNally Wilson. In 1866, Wilson was court-martialed for deserting and mutinous conduct and placed aboard the last convict ship to sail to Australia. In
Mutinous
1876, he
conduct.
survived a dangerous escape from his prison in Fremantle and fled to New York, spending his remaining years in the United States to learn more about this and similar stories. So it sounds like he's kind of the guy that compiled a lot of the stories behind the 19 Crimes wine.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
I'm just doing a repeat box wine because, as you can see, we're not in the same location tonight.
Mm-hmm. Planning was hard this week.
It's hard. You got your job and your kids and all the activities, and there was Valentine's Day and all these extra things. So,
Super Bowl Sunday. And then one of my kids had a birthday
Go
the day
Chiefs.
before the Super Bowl. Yeah. This is actually pretty good. You should try this sometime. And I have some very nice fake chocolate roses here.
Oh.
We did a charity thing at work where you could send like grams, like Telegram type messages to people. So like you paid a few dollars, got a chocolate rose, sent a message to someone that you wanted to shout out or whatever. And then we donated the money to a couple of causes. And I got 5 notes. Only 4 roses, though, because we ran out of roses. And those of us who were in leadership were like, you know what? If you have to stack a couple of them, that's okay.
Yeah. True story. The sacrifices you make.
I know. Well, what's really funny is my boss doesn't like chocolate.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. But apparently people like that exist.
I don't understand it, but
I know. But
I mean, there's people that are allergic. I understand that, but
yeah, no, she's not allergic. She just doesn't like it. But she was like, "You can give all of my roses away. That's fine."
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I sent Brandon one.
Oh. Since we're on the topic of Valentine's Day, why don't we hit what we did with our kids real quick?
There you go.
I went a little all out, mostly because I woke up early that morning with a little pizzazz in my step, And I've been making pancakes for Ari in the morning. And so I happened to remember that I had a heart-shaped pancake mold. So I made one of the pancakes a heart. And then I have these little things. I don't know if you guys ever watch, I don't know the name of the channel, but it's a mom who makes lunch for her kid, and it's always themed and cut out really pretty. And she always starts, let's make some lunch for Adeline. That's her daughter's name, obviously. And she goes through all the stuff she does, and she has all these special cookie cutters and things. Back in the day, like the year before Ari started school, I thought to myself, I would be one of those moms who would make these fancy themed cool lunches that were so different every time. And so I bought the little tiny metal cutouts for like fruits and vegetables. So I had a heart one. So I sliced up an apple and cut out little hearts and put it in a little container.
Aww.
And I bought her a special unicorn cookie, which apparently was really gross. And
was it really?
Oh. It's a beautiful looking cookie, but it was apparently
it looks pretty,
not tasty. So I said, well, that's okay. Now we know for next time. I think that's all I did was But and then I got her a little present. I thought in years past she's gotten like 3 or 4 of the little hearts with the 4 pieces of chocolate in them,
Yeah.
And I thought I'd try to do something different this year so she didn't get all the same stuff. So
Yeah.
we drink a lot of hot cocoa when she's at my house, and she doesn't have many mugs. She has one mug that's like hers, maybe 2. So I made a little coffee mug at the Walgreens photo website, and I put 3 pictures of us on it, and I said something like Happy Valentine's Day to my funny little Valentine or something like that, and then I put the date on it.
Aw.
And then I filled the cup with candy bars that she likes. A
Nice.
Kinder Egg, some Musketeers. But I thought maybe that'll give her something a little different. But of course, when all was said and done, she really enjoyed it and then said, But you know how you got me that little heart thing last year? I was really hoping I'd get one of those.
That is such a kid thing to say.
I said, last year Grandma and Grandpa got you one, I got you one, and Daddy got you one. So I thought maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'd spread it out. But this year Grandma and Grandpa got her a container full of, like a little tube full of Hershey Kisses with a heart on the top. So, and then I got her something different. I don't know if her dad got her anything or not.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen them, but
Yeah. I
fun times.
I did things by way of trying to avoid disaster. So
It's a key strategy in
yeah.
motherhood.
I also had the same thought. I don't think I want to do the same little 4-piece box of chocolates. Eliana's got braces, and I know that she's not going to be able to eat at least one of them,
Mm-hmm.
possibly 2, depending on how many caramel pieces they put in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to buy different Valentine themed candies and put them all in a bag. Because you'll notice this bag has a Christmas tree on it.
Oh.
That is because when I ordered the bags, I thought I was ordering a pack of a bunch of bags, and it was a pack of 2 bags.
Oh.
So Eliana and Silas got the very nice Valentine bags. Jack got the Christmas tree because I knew he wasn't going to care at all. And then for Lucas, I just took a bag he already had and emptied it and put the stuff in it because he's the oldest and he can deal. Welcome to being the oldest child.
You should understand that pain more than anyone.
Exactly. But leading up to Valentine's Day, we had so Grandma also bought some heart-shaped snack cakes, and we've been
Mm-hmm.
giving them to the kids throughout the last couple weeks.
Okay.
There were exactly 4 left in a box in my pantry, and I was like, this will be perfect. Everyone can have one more. And when we had the birthday party and we had a bunch of kids over, we had some relatives over, and the cousins are used to just going into the pantry at their house and grabbing whatever. And that thought should have crossed my mind, and I should have picked them up and put them up higher, and I did not. And one of them got snapped. I also had a 3-pack of chocolate bars that were Valentine's Day themed that I had bought in the past. And now I had 4 children. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do with these sets of 3? Lunch boxes this week. So on Monday, Eliana and Silas got the last of the ding dongs. And then on Tuesday, they all got a chocolate bar in their
Ooh.
lunchbox. So on Wednesday, when it was just a normal Wednesday lunch, I didn't feel so bad. Plus, they had seen their candy before they went to school.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
going to get up and make heart-shaped waffles. And boy, was that going to be a sacrifice anyway, because Wednesday is our early day where we have to get Lucas to school by 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I could not find the heart-shaped waffle maker. I looked in all the cabinets. I got my flashlight out. I'm assuming it is packed in a box.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
we had toaster strudels went on sale a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember the
Hey.
last time I gave them those, because the last time I gave them those, it was, I don't like these. And I was like, how do you not like toaster strudels? But they were all like much younger. So we had that, and they loved them, and I used the icing to draw a heart, and it was fine.
Yay.
Yeah, so it worked out, but not a perfect.
It's just the little things.
Exactly. It's like in my head, I knew what I had planned, but they all
Yeah.
enjoyed it all the same.
Well, and then they have their little Valentine party at class where they pass out their
Oh,
Valentines
yeah.
and get a box full of stuff that we had to decorate. Oh, I am a little funny on that. So I helped Ari decorate her box,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent her box in with her and her Valentine's on Monday instead of Wednesday,
Yeah, I tried
because
to
it was
talk the
done.
kids into
And
that.
yeah, and the teacher's like, have it here by the 13th. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we'll take a Monday. So I'm a planner and I do things ahead.
Yep.
Valentine's Day, we pull up through the parent drop off line, and the car in front of me is, God bless him, this dad. And he has to get out to open the door for his two kids because they're both pretty little. Um, and you're not supposed to get out of your car and do that stuff. But in the morning, a lot of times the teachers that are supposed to be standing there aren't quite there yet, which I get it. It's early. But so this guy got out to open the door for his kids, and he reaches in and pulls out a box and sets it on the ground, and pulls out a second box and sets it on the ground. And while his kids are climbing out, I noticed that the sides of the box were not covered or decorated, and it's definitely a beer box. And I was like, that's hilarious.
I thought that was going to end up being the story for Silas's box. It wasn't a beer box, it was a Walmart box, but he was having a hard time with the decorating. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
just cover what you can and ask for help if you need help. And but he did finally get all the sides covered and put some stickers up on there. But
I guess I cheated. I covered all of Ari's box before I had her decorate it.
no,
Like I
that's
let
not
her.
cheating. That's normal. And I was just like way too busy this time.
I was like,
So
you tell me what color each side to be, and I'll glue it, like cut it out. And then after I cut it out, she was like, this is bad. She was really into her screen time and did not want to glue it on. And so I glued it on, which is dumb. I should have made her do it later. But I glued it on, and then I was able to just later say, sit down and decorate it, color it,
Mhm.
stamp it, do whatever. But it was already covered at least.
I usually do that part because, at least when they're younger, it's hard for them to do that part. But when did we decorate those? I think it was on Sunday. And so I was
Yeah.
trying to like recover from birthday party mess and do a bunch of other things. And I was like, Eliana's going to sit down at the same time. I'm like, if he needs help, just help him. And then at one point, sibling fighting ensued. And I said, you know what, Silas, if you need help, just come to me. So, but he did almost all of it himself. So I was pretty
Mhm.
impressed.
Good job.
But then,
That's what
like,
it's supposed to be, you
I
know?
know, but then you go to these, sometimes, I don't, you probably haven't attended one yet. I've been to one of Lucas's Valentine's parties in elementary school, or friendship day parties, whatever they're calling them now. And you
Yeah.
can tell with some of the kids that they just said, this is what I want my box to look like. And the parent did it for them and like went all out. And that's
Yeah.
great. That's fine. I don't care. If that's your bonding thing, cool. But you're making me look like an idiot, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't have parents in the school for the friendship party.
Yeah. We
Because
haven't,
Ari kept telling me, "Oh, I'll see you on Valentine's Day. I'll see you on Valentine's Day." And I even like asked off the time at work, and
yeah.
then I realized that the principal hadn't set out his normal like, "Come here and put your name on the list if you want to come into the school." So I
Hmm.
messaged the teacher, and she was like, "Oh no, it's not. It's not like the holiday parties." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
It could be that I'm just slacking and haven't looked into things, but I feel like they don't ask us at our school now to come in and help. Like ever since COVID, it's just been like, sorry,
Yeah.
which it's fine by me. But
Okay.
um, I didn't post this on Facebook yet, but I'm going to send you Eliana on Valentine's Day. She is taking after her mom and
Oh
getting way too
boy.
into every holiday. If you enlarge it, you'll notice she's drawn hearts on her face.
She has, and her hand.
Yep.
She's got the
She
heart's
painted her
headband,
nails
a
that
heart
morning.
dress.
Yeah. So she went all
All
out.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, our extremism has to rub off on at least one of these children.
That's right.
Ari gets really
Well,
into stuff, but it's not quite in the same way that I do, really.
if she hangs out with Eliana enough, I think it will happen.
She does like matching me still, though, so I'll take it.
We're still in financial February, and this
Yeah.
week we are
My,
going
my,
to whine.
my.
That's right. We are going to whine about how even if you have two working parents in a household, you still feel like you can't afford anything.
Jack.
About to cuss. Yeah, there you go. Can't afford Jack. Inflation
Oh,
is terrible.
yes.
Wages
Um,
are normally lower than they should be. I'm sure that's not the
yeah.
case for everybody, but quite a few people are underpaid. Women are
Yeah.
underpaid.
Yep.
Sucks.
It does suck. It sucks so hard. And I think it sucks more when you feel like anytime you whine about it, you're there are people that just jump on the invalidation
Mm-hmm.
bandwagon and they're like, women don't get paid less, moms don't get paid less. There's inflation is bad, but inflation has always been a thing and it's grown with
Right.
the income has grown with that. So like, no, it hasn't at
Yeah.
the same rate. And that's the problem.
Yeah. And they've
Like,
proven that.
yeah, mathematically proven it over and over
Yeah.
again. And people still can't admit that they're wrong and be
They did
willing to
that with
accept another
college costs
viewpoint.
too. They did a study to show that like the rise in the cost of college is not equivalent to like the rise in not only earnings but inflation in other areas of life.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
everything's getting more expensive, and if you're trying to eat healthy, it's expensive. And I love that we have the freedom and the ability to work, but I hate that we're in a position where you feel like you have to work because not every mom wants
Yeah.
to work. And
Yeah.
it's very rare to find a one person job that can support a whole family.
People are like, oh, women fought for the right to work, and so we should work. Well, no, we fought for the right to be able to work if we wanted
Right.
to also be able to rent our home if we wanted to,
Right.
and for the idea that men should be able to choose the same.
Right.
Like, feminism is not just for women, it's also for men who want to do the opposite of what their typical gender role has been. There are
Right.
a lot of really great, wonderful, happy stay at home dads. And it
Yep.
shouldn't be a struggle for families to survive on one income. And it is. I can speak to that struggle. I have just one income and it's rough. But, you think to yourself, I'm doing okay. I have a really good paying job in comparison to some others. But then when you look at it, it's really not because I had to go into more than a mortgage's worth of student loan debt to
Mm-hmm.
have this job. So, yeah, I make a bigger paycheck, but I also have bigger student loan payments, and they will
Yep.
go past when I die. Like, I will die with student loans. There's no way I will pay them off. It's literally impossible with the percentage rate. Even if I
Yeah.
paid every payment on time and plus some,
Yeah.
it still wouldn't happen. And it's really despicable. You shouldn't have to work every second of every day to afford basic groceries, gas, and car fees and home fees,
Right.
A side hustle used to be this great thing you did to earn extra money to put into savings or to go on
Right.
vacations or what have you. And now it's like everybody is desperate for a side hustle because you have to have it to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And that's not cool, guys. It's not cool.
Yeah. And it can be, even if you are in a position where you're a stay at home mom and you're thinking, maybe I should get a part time job. Or say you're not a stay at home mom,
Yeah.
say both of you work and you still feel like maybe one of us needs to get a part time job.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so impossible with kids' schedules because you want to actually hang out with your kids some. And then
Yeah.
eventually they have activities and extracurriculars and things to go do. And having to juggle all of that with one job is already bad enough. And then if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like you have to throw another job on top of that,
It's a lot.
yikes.
It's a lot. I try very hard to work jobs where it doesn't interfere with my RE time. I
Yeah.
do. Um, I feel the statement when moms say things like, "I stay at home because I don't I don't work to pay someone else to raise my children because that's how expensive daycare is.
Yeah.
If you work a full-time job, you are probably paying for daycare with that role. Like
Yep.
and not getting
And a
extra
lot of it.
or maybe only a tiny bit extra. And it's crazy and you think why have children if you can't experience them and raise them and spend time with them and enjoy them while
Yeah.
they're young and developing and becoming who they are? But at the same time, like, what are you going to do? Like, you
Right.
have to work.
Yeah,
So,
having a house is nice and having food is nice, and
yeah.
that means you gotta work.
And God bless the people who can stay at home and do stay at home and make lots of sacrifices so that they can stay at home and raise
Yeah.
their kids. And also, God bless the people who aren't able to do that and have to work and put their kids in daycare. Absolutely no judgment here. It's it really feels like most times nobody gets to do exactly what they wish they could or what they had planned for themselves. So, I feel you on either side, and I've had to do a little bit of
Yeah.
both myself. So,
One of the shout out roses that I got was from another person at work, and it was really nice because oftentimes, especially as a mom, period, but even more so as a working mom or even a working dad, you don't get the full recognition you should get. Like,
mm-hmm.
parenting is a job in and of itself.
It's
And
exhausting, and it's
yes,
24/7.
yes. And if you're the parent that's staying at home so that your home can be stable, great. And if you're the parent
Yeah.
that's working so that your children can not starve, also great.
Both
But
are necessary.
yeah. But the person who made my shout out, they put on there, they're like, I find it really impressive that you are such a great team lead and you have to manage your family at home. And I was just like, oh, that's so nice. I can't believe how nice that
Thank you for
was.
seeing me.
I know. I was like, I feel seen now. Thank you.
Yes. I think
But
I feel seen in a very quiet way at my job, in that nobody gives me grief for the things, the special treatments that I get sometimes in order to be able to take care of Ari. It's like everybody
yeah,
knows I'm a single mom.
yeah,
I am her main parent, and this is not a diss to my co-parent. It is how we're set up, and it's how I
yeah.
preferred it when we split because she was so young. And
Well,
let's
and
be
now
real,
too, like,
I'm better at this stuff, the parenting stuff. Like, he's great at being there for her and spending time with her and having fun, and he takes care of her when she's over there. But I do all the planning and the shopping and the buying and the doctor's appointment. I do all that stuff.
yeah,
And it takes extra time, and they grant me a lot of grace. Things like letting me split my lunch break at
yeah,
a certain time in the morning and the afternoon. And when I do that, I get to leave 30 minutes before everybody else because of when school lets out. And nobody, at least to me, has grumbled about it or whined about it or said, why does Nikki get to leave? Like, she gets to save her lunch break for the end of the day and nobody else on the team gets to without special permission.
hmm,
Nobody is like that. And I appreciate it because the struggle is real.
yeah,
It's intense to wake up and start working and then also be the only person in the house to get Ari up and going and fed and ready to go out the door, and then commute her to school and back, and then jump right back into work. I don't get a break during the day because I use it for transporting her. And then I
hmm,
get off and I'm immediately in parent pickup line to pick her up. And I'm bringing her home or taking her to dance class or, whatever it is. And it's,
yeah.
it's a lot. And then I'm cooking dinner and I'm cleaning dishes and I'm doing laundry, and then we're in bed before I know it. And I'm like, where's my life going?
I know.
It's
Remember when
difficult.
like you were a kid and you felt like time just stretched on forever, and then
Mm-hmm.
adults would be like, "Oh, it goes by so fast," and you'd be like, "I don't get that." And then you become an adult and you have all these things. It's like, well, that's why. It's because from sun up to sundown, every second of your day is filled, so you don't have
Mm-hmm.
time to sit back and be bored.
Yep. There's no boredom. What is
Right.
that?
Yeah. One of these days.
Oh.
Well, one of the things I like to do as a side hustle, and this we're gonna get controversial today, I know, is MLMs, also
Mm,
interchangeably referred to as direct sales. And I know that MLM is more often about like how it's structured, and some of the direct sales companies are not structured the same way. But I
yeah.
see a lot of hate directed towards these things, and some of it is valid. Some of it is not. So I thought it might be fun, as someone who has dabbled in quite a few of these companies, to go
Not
over.
kidding, guys.
go over the pros and cons of the main ones I've been involved in so that
Yeah.
if this is something you are considering doing on the side, you have an overview of what the company is like before you get involved.
Yeah.
So, and I know that you did some doTERRA or
Hmm.
however you say it.
I say
Um,
doTERRA. I don't know what the
okay.
official, because I didn't get that into it, but I got very into using the oils and using my discount. I never
Yeah.
actually got into selling and becoming part of the pyramid.
Okay.
I did meet with somebody about that possibility because I wanted to know how it worked and I wanted to
Yeah.
know if I could do that. But as she explained it to me, and then I went home and thought about it, I was like, it's not possible. Like my area is already
Yeah.
extremely saturated with people who use this product, and
Yeah.
I'm not a salesy kind of gal either. So I thought I'm just going to use my discount and share what I can with my family, and
Yeah.
that was pretty much it.
And to me, that's kind of number one priority. Don't get into something just to sell it. Everything that I have joined, I was already using it, or like once I tried it, I was like, I want to use it, and I wanted a discount.
Hmm.
Uh, the first thing that I joined, which isn't even around anymore, was a beauty company that had some skincare that worked really well for me. It's probably hard to see on the screen, but I have some scarring on my chin from cystic acne. And I felt like their products were the only thing that kept new acne from forming. And I had even gone to a doctor and everything and had some pills and this and that. And I felt like their skincare was really the only thing that worked, other than also
Yeah.
some homeopathic pills that I had been taking. Um, but one of the first things that I really got super into was Pampered Chef. And I like cooking and baking and spending time in the kitchen. And a lot of their gadgets do make that very easy. And a lot
They
of the
do.
things that they come out with just improve my quality of life in general. So when I joined up, I always look for a really good discount. Like they'll have specials. Don't just join at any time. Wait for like Black Friday or like certain companies, they're celebrating an anniversary in a certain month. Pampered Chef is very good. That probably sounded weird. Pampered Chef is very good at offering discounts on their joining bundles. And there are even times with a lot of companies where you can decide to join without purchasing a bundle. But I do think it's valuable because you need to have some things on hand for when you're trying to say, this is why I like this.
Hmm.
Um, the things I like about Pampered Chef is I use their products a lot. I enjoy the discount, and it's something that everybody needs.
Yes.
Even when they came out, for instance, with like their version of the Instapot, which they call a quick cooker, it had improvements that the Instapot at the time was lacking. A lot of people were getting burned on the steam. There weren't a lot of accessories for the Instapot at the time. And when they came out with their quick cooker, it was a game changer. Like I was like, nope, I'm not going to buy a pressure cooker. And then when they had theirs and I saw how safe it was and easy to use, I was like, okay, I'm sold, you know? And it's
Yeah.
really helped me a lot. I thought I was a crock pot girl. I am now a crock pot and pressure cooker girl.
Look at you.
I know. I
And
really
their
like,
parties were always the coolest because you'd get
yes.
together and they'd use their tools to cook food and then you get to eat the
Mm-hmm.
food. And it was great.
Yes. That was going to be like a half pro, half con. Home parties are great. If you're going to do it, do home parties, or if you're more of a virtual person, demo things on whatever Facebook page you create for your business.
Hmm.
The con is if you're going to go to shows, which I don't do shows all year long when I do them for a business. I generally only do them around the holidays. So I'll
Hmm.
only do a couple a year. It's that makes it a little more difficult. It's one of those that if you don't have inventory on you, you're less likely to sell, but then you have to buy a bunch of inventory and try to guess what people are going to buy. And it can be difficult to do cooking demonstrations at the table to show people why they need the products.
Yeah.
Um, and it's
You're
a
just
hassle to
cooking
set
all
up and
day.
tear down. Yeah. The other thing I don't like about Pampered Chef is they charge for the website. So if you're in a slow period for your business, you're spending money on this website and not making money. And of course, I shouldn't say of course, people won't know this, but they have to charge you a little bit of insurance because we're working with, knives and things. So they have to protect themselves. And if something happens to you, they have to be able to protect you. So they do charge you a little bit for insurance.
Yeah.
Something I really don't like is they will ship out catalogs and charge you for them, and you don't have the option for that not to happen. So back in the day where I would make a sale once a month, or like I'd make a sale in 1 month and then a couple months would go by, every time I made a sale, 10 or so dollars of it came out for these catalogs that I didn't want.
Ugh.
Yeah. So it definitely has its downside, but the community is great. And while we're on that, I am going to say a lot of the reasons people don't like MLMs and direct sales is for the community. Yes, there are going to be toxic people everywhere you go. Don't let that ruin an experience for you. Just ignore the toxic ones and go do your own thing. Some things I decided I was going to try to build a team in. Other things I just wanted the discount. Other things I was like, you know what? I don't want to build a team, but maybe I want to sell a few things and just be happy at the level that I'm at. It's whatever path you want to take on these.
Yeah.
Let me think about another. Oh, Usborne. What are they called now? Paperback books or paper
Still Usborne, aren't
pie?
they?
No, there's something else. Hold on.
Mine all say Usborne still.
It'll still say it.
Ugh,
They officially rebranded themselves
my eyes
Paper
are
Pie.
watering a lot. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so Usborne, now known as Paper Pie, but they still have Usborne on a lot of their stuff, is a book company. I really loved being involved in that company when the kids were younger. And they do have some older kid books, but it's mostly geared toward the younger kids. I got a ton of free books through Usborne. Their payment, like their compensation system is great. It's very easy to sell these things. Yes, it's going to be a haul when you're going into a show, but they sell.
Lots of heavy
People,
books to crate around, but
yeah, but people love those books.
oh yeah.
Um,
I bought Ari a ton of books before she could even come close to reading. So
yeah, and they just have like a lot of fun things in them, like little cars that drive around and everything.
yeah,
So, and
musical books and touch feel books and
I can't remember if there was a website charge with them. I feel like there might have been a smaller one, but one where it was like, yeah, I think there was, but it was only every once in a while, and it was small enough that I usually kept the website active because I was doing really well with it.
mm-hmm.
It's also one that's really easy to do virtual parties for if you prefer virtual parties. I would say the downside there is sometimes you do feel like you have to have inventory on you, or you might get your rewards and your house is overflowing with books, and so you use the rewards to get free stuff to sell later, and then maybe it doesn't sell and you just have all these books around your house. Overall,
Yeah.
I really liked Usborne. I don't have a lot of complaints about Usborne. I think my favorite business so far has been paparazzi jewelry, but that one is definitely saturated, and depending on where you're at, it can be hard to sell. There is a rule with them where if there's already a paparazzi consultant at an event, you are not supposed to be at that event also. They want like one consultant per event. Event planners often don't know that, so sometimes it happens that there's more than one person there. But they're very into the rules over there. If you break the rules, you can get your consultant status revoked and never sell paparazzi again. So I know one of their rules is you're not supposed to sell it for under $5. It's known as
That's too
$5
intense.
jewelry. Yeah, I know. And people sometimes they've got older jewelry and they're like, maybe I want to sell it for $3, which is pretty much cost. I mean, it's $275 when you buy it, and then you sell it and make $225. So the profit margin's great compared to some of these other companies. And you do have to make a certain order in a rolling year to stay active as a consultant. I don't remember there being an extra cost for the website because I always had the
Yeah.
website up, so there probably wasn't. But it's just an easy thing to sell. The price point is low. The quality is good enough. Yes, you can tell it's costume jewelry, but a lot of it has gotten very cute over the years. And if they're paying $5, they know what they're getting. And it's very
Yeah.
easy to sell. Nice stocking stuffers, nice small gifts for people. And it was very easy to keep up with. I could ignore that business for 3 months if I wanted to, and then pick it up when I had an open summer and go do whatever. To this day, because I do have a lot of inventory on me, I will go to shows from like late October through mid December to try and hit the holiday crowd. And then I pack it away for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I have a lot of inventory on me is I thought I was going to be doing this business a lot more. And I was really starting to ramp up my shows, and people were getting really interested. And I was being really successful. And it was my first taste of like real direct sales success. And then COVID hit. So I bought all this
Bam.
jewelry to go to physical shows, and then everything shut down for 2 years. So I still did Facebook shows, things like that. And that's a very easy one to do Facebook shows for. You just set everything up, you tell people when you're going live, and then you bring the jewelry out and show it, and people buy things. So, and it's very light and easy to ship. They can always buy straight from your website if they want to. I honestly, I would say the only con.
Sorry.
That's fine. It was just really funny. I would say the only con about paparazzi is sometimes you try to get something and it sells out before you can get it. Literally the only con I had. I love paparazzi. I am technically inactive now. That's my own fault. I let myself go inactive because I got so busy with my job. But the last one I'll talk about is Bellamy, and that's the one I'm doing now. And I like it a lot so far. They don't want you to have to spend your money on training, inventory, website fees. They want you to keep the money that you make. So the website is free. The people go directly to the website and order from there, so you don't have to keep inventory on you. You can, but you don't have to. But like another nice thing is I feel like the products really work. So I mentioned I have this chin scarring and everything that makes me really self-conscious. They have, I'm going to say it wrong, baobab oil or something like that in there, and it firms everything up. And I have already noticed like crazy changes in my chin and the bags under my eyes with their skincare line. And they have this really cool training portal. So once you get all signed up and everything, you can go in there and you can start watching these trainings. And these ladies pour into you like crazy. They tell you all kinds of things on how to sell without looking like that's all you're trying to do. They encourage you to make sure that you're still like having an actual relationship with people and not just trying to push your products on them. They have these cool mindset videos. So they have a whole bunch of different trainings. You don't have to pay for the website. There's, as far as I know, no minimums that you have to order. Just overall, the community's great too. Like, so far, I really like it. I've only been in it for about a month, but it's just been a lot of fun. And I need the products, so I'm really enjoying the discount.
Yeah.
But
I feel like if you like the products and use the products and you want the discount, it's a great option to help it be more affordable sometimes.
right.
It's, not every MLM is out there to pressure you into becoming some gigantic pyramid scheme pyramid scheme where they want you to like sell your life savings to buy their
Right.
products and things like that. Like there are definitely companies out there that are predatory.
I would be careful about what company you get involved with. I would research it first, and the person signing you up, you can ask them all the questions. My main questions are, what's the fee to join? Because there's always going to be some. I take that back.
Yeah.
Bellamy, I think, is free if you don't buy any of the products, but they ridiculously discount them, and you'd be stupid not to if you're going to use it. So sometimes companies will have a free joining period or join for $1 or whatever. But ask them, how much is it to join? Do I have to pay to keep the website up? If so, how much? What does the compensation plan look like? Is this something where I'm going to need to keep inventory on hand, or can I just do sales through the website?
Yeah.
Those are the most important questions to me. And if there's any quota, if you will, to stay active. And then pick the thing that works best for you. And you can try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, awesome, And you could also go out and get a part-time job if you wanted to, if you feel like that's something you have to do. The part-time job, you're going to get a certain amount of money every week based on how long you work. But this one, if it really takes off, can be more freeing for your schedule. So,
Yeah, lots of good options out there, and you got to do what fits for you and your family, and
Right.
what you're comfortable with. You know, if you're not a person who likes posting to social media a lot and meeting
Yeah.
strangers, then it's probably not for you. But
Yeah. That is true. That is fair.
you know, and then it also depends what options you have for you. Like for me, in the line of work I'm in, it's easy to pick up contractor work and have a
Mm-hmm.
side hustle where I'm still doing my career related thing
Mm-hmm.
and, utilizing my degree, but not having to really like market or sales or anything like that. And so it just, it's about what fits you.
Yeah.
I picked up a 1099 contractor job with an employee assistance program, which is, in case you don't know, a lot of jobs offer employee assistance programs and they have various benefits. Check with yours to see what yours are, but sometimes it's things like free legal consultations, free financial training, and free therapy. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
get 5 or 10 sessions a year. Um, and that's what I do. I work contract for a company that fulfills EAP contracts. So I pick and choose exactly when I work, how many people I'm willing to take on at a time. If I get a client sent to me and I know that they're not going to be a good fit, I don't have to see them. I can say this isn't, a good clinical fit for my experience and expertise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been wonderful. I started out like trying to just do a couple hours after work on nights that maybe I didn't have Ari or there wasn't a lot of other things going on. And then pretty quickly, I actually shifted to seeing most people on Sundays, which I never thought I would want to do, to take one of my weekend days from my main job and like work.
Yeah.
But it really has been great. I get Saturday off where I just relax and do whatever I want, and then I just work for like half a day on Sunday. I say I'll
That's not
say
bad.
I'll see people from like 9 to 1, and then I still have my afternoon and my evening off. I feel like I had some time off before Monday starts, and I don't have Ari every other Sunday, so it
Yeah.
only feels like I'm shortchanging her on time with me every other weekend. And she doesn't feel that way because she gets to lay in her bed and play Roblox all morning, and she is perfectly fine with that.
Right. Like,
The only
I'm
time,
happy.
yes, the only time she's ever gotten mad at me is when it was summertime and kids were outside playing and she couldn't go out with them because I won't let her run around
Mm,
in the subdivision, not subdivision, in the complex,
yeah.
um, when I'm not able to really pay attention and follow where she's
Right.
at. So I don't
Yeah.
stand there and watch her the whole time, but I know where she's at and who she's with, and I watch her come and go out the windows, and I
Yeah.
really can't do that and focus in a way that is required for therapy. So she has to stay inside, and she has a little breakfast and snacks set up, and she stays in her room, and um, it's been a beautiful thing so far.
Well, there you go.
You just gotta find what works for you, you know.
Yeah. Don't let anybody yuck your yum.
That's right. And if you like
I
direct
want to
sales
try
for a
something.
company that's considered an evil MLM, like if you just want the discount for yourself, that's fine. And if you go into it knowing what it is and knowing what you do and don't want to do, it's fine.
I forgot to talk about one of my favorite companies.
Uh-oh. All right, let's hear
I
it.
know. I like Sipology,
Mm,
Sipology.
I've been meaning to order that from you. I need some more.
Hey, hey. I've become a tea snob because of them. I used to just
It's good
drink
stuff.
whatever tea, whatever powdery Lipton tea was out there, and they introduced me to what is called loose leaf tea. The prices are pretty good. The tea tastes amazing, but it's
It's
like
fancy tea.
actual, you can see like there's the little tea leaves in there. There's chunks of cranberry or apple or whatever the flavoring is.
Mango,
Like
or
there's
yeah.
actual real ingredients in there. And it's so good.
It's so good. It's so yummy. And
You
it
do not
lasts a
have to,
good long time. Like you
yeah.
look at the price and you're like, oof, that's that's a lot for tea. But then when you get it, like it
And
lasts forever.
they pay you every week.
Oh, that's
Every week.
nice.
Yeah. So if I had an order come in, oh, and you don't have to wait. So like a lot of things, if you have like parties, you have to close the party out, and then the things ship, and then you get paid. You get paid after something's been ordered, even if the party's still open. And I feel like their party rewards are really good too. So there's that. But the thing that reminded me about that was the person who was my upline in Sipology is the one that joined Bellamy. So she had been selling the tea for a while, and bless her and her husband, they're both in the legal field. I'm like, how do you do that and raise a family and have a side hustle? But she makes it work. So she'd been doing the tea for a while. She backed off. She's like, I'm getting too busy. I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
And it was a major decision for her. Like she was high up.
Mm-hmm.
But she decided that she was going to let that go. And for a while, she just, lived life, whatever. And then eventually she's like,
live, laugh,
I feel
love.
like, yeah, I feel like something's missing. Like she missed having that side hustle. And so she did a lot of research before she picked the next company she was going to join, which I feel like that's my spirit animal right there. I'm a big researcher. So she like dug into all these companies and figured out which one she thought would be the best fit. And then Bellamy is the one that she went with. And she went on Facebook and she was just like, I'm not even trying to sell this to you guys. I'm just letting you know this is the decision I made. This is why I think it's going to be a good company. And then she just kind of went from there. And I didn't join until after I saw her before and after photos. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so obviously this stuff actually works. But all of that to say, she said that she used to be worried about what people would think with her being involved in these companies. And she just decided one day she wasn't going to let the Karens run her life. And I'm like, that's such a great way to put it. Someone's always going to be being a Karen to you. And you just got to do what you want to do and do what makes you happy.
Yeah. It never hurts to try something new,
Mm-hmm.
You never know when you're going to find that little thing that just, like for her, that just clicks for you and you feel empty and sad without it. Like,
I feel that way about like full-time jobs too. Not to say that can't, because that can be a full-time job if you get enough business going. But like, just like jobs that you might work when you're growing up or trying to figure out where your career is going to be, or maybe you join a job you think is going to be your career and then you end up doing a different job. I'm always a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks person. Like I have worked a lot of different jobs in a lot of different fields, and I wasn't bad at any of them, but the job I work now is the first job where I feel like things are clicking.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that to consider too.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to like your normal day job, if you're not happy where you're at, maybe you should explore and see if there's something better out there for you. Don't quit your first job until you get the second one.
That's right.
But
it's so true. Even within like a dedicated field, there's so many options out there. Like the job I work full time right now is not the job that you hear anything about when you're in school to be a therapist.
Yep.
But it is a big field and it pays better than most other therapy jobs. At least it does at the beginning. So it's interesting what's out there. Keep your ears open, ask a lot of questions, and don't be afraid to like poke around and see what else is out there and try something outside the box.
All right. I'm going to ask one Valentine themed question to wrap things up. And it's only Valentine themed in the sense of people tend to go out to eat on Valentine's Day. So what is your favorite meal to eat out at a restaurant? If you're going to go out with someone to celebrate an event, what's your go-to?
Sushi.
It's a good one.
But good sushi.
Yeah.
There's a difference. We're not talking
yes,
grocery store sushi. We're not even talking like sushi-ai sushi. That's decent. It's fine. It's okay.
I do think that's overpriced.
Yeah, sushi, it's overpriced.
Sushi-ai in specific. Yeah. Love you, sushi-ai. It's great sushi, but you're a little expensive.
A little big for your britches.
I was going to say that, and then I didn't.
But yeah, that's in fact what I did for Valentine's Day. I don't have a partner or anything like that.
She deserted me, you guys.
Oh yeah, I did.
You played hooky on ballet.
We played hooky from ballet. I picked up Ari from school. She's my little Valentine, And I had the car all packed for ballet class because that's where we go on Wednesdays straight from school. But it was just like it was 66 degrees outside, sunny.
It was
We
nice.
knew this cold snap was coming. It started today, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow. In fact,
Yep.
so we knew like this is the last beautiful day for a while before we get the second winter that Missouri always gets. And it's a holiday, and we just want to relax. And so when she got in the car, I started heading towards the ballet school, and I said, "How do you feel about going to class tonight?" And she was like, "Eh." "Do you want to skip class?" And she was like, "Yes." I said, "Now this is not an everyday thing. I'm not one that says you sign up and commit to something and then you skip whenever you feel like it. But we don't skip much. We only skip when we're sick or the roads are really bad, you know." And I said, "It's going to be a beautiful day. If you want to go outside and play with your friends, that's fine." We had already driven almost all the way to the dance studio because it's pretty close. And
Yeah.
there's a Wendy's on the corner, and she loves the Wendy's chicken nuggets. And she always asks for them, and I always say no because I don't feel like there's enough time to go through the drive-through before dance class is supposed to start because she has to
I
be able
think
to
her
eat
and
it
Uncle
and get
Brandon
ready.
have something in common because he also loves the Wendy's chicken nuggets.
Oh man, yeah. So I swung into Wendy's as a special treat, and then because I had already, it's hard to explain, but there's like this whole new roundabout situation where I live, and I had already been
Mm-hmm.
through the roundabout and headed the other way, so I was like, I might as well get something while I'm over here and then head back, you know. So I got her some Wendy's, and then I came home and treated myself to some DoorDash sushi,
Nice.
and it was delicious. It was way too expensive for what it was, but you know, I don't I don't do it much. So
Yeah.
I
It's hard
treated
to not
myself.
go with sushi because sushi is so good. And not only is it good when you're eating it, but afterwards you don't feel disgusting. Like your body still feels like clean. Okay,
Depends how
maybe you
much
feel
you eat.
disgusting. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like
But yeah,
we
it's
will
not the
eat more
same.
sushi than we should, and then your stomach still feels light, and you don't feel like when you go to McDonald's and then like you can feel the grease sitting on your face afterwards. You don't
Yes.
get that with
Oh,
sushi. But it's also really hard to pass up steak and potatoes.
it is. It That's very hard to pass
Like a
up.
really good filet in some compound butter with like good potatoes, like a garlic mashed potato, and maybe they kept the skins in there. My number one gripe with having kids is I always have to peel the potatoes for the mashed potatoes. And it's like if you're using like golden or red potatoes, sometimes leaving the skins in there is like the best part. They're
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
nice and soft and flavorful. That's also why I don't make things as spicy as I used to because I'm like, kids will never eat it. I put pepper, like normal pepper in there, and they'll be like, it's so spicy.
Mm-hmm. I can't
All
lie, I'm
right.
kind of the same way. So, I mean,
Yeah, but see, Brandon and I are used to being able to eat whatever we want. Now we have to
yeah.
cook to the kids. But I'm not cooking two separate meals. Not happening.
I do it all the time.
You have
But
one you
my
and one child
my
though.
cooking is like tossing things in an air fryer, or I don't actually like really cook
See, there's
much.
another
So
pro for Pampered Chef. I feel like the air fryer has saved my life. I know there's other air fryers out there, but theirs is spectacular and oven shaped. I always like I want to get the oven, like the full size kitchen oven that is also an air
yeah,
fryer
yeah, I would
when
like
I'm
one of those too
rich.
with the trays.
Mm-hmm. That would
I
be
think
so
about
great.
those a lot.
Well, as always, feel free to check us out on workingmomswine.com, TikTok Working Moms Wine, Instagram
Hmm.
Working Moms Wine, patreon.com/Working Moms Wine. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify. This has been our financial February month. We covered monetizing every step of your life, quite literally, with one of the apps we talk about. Good investing tips. This has been Side Hustles, MLMs, if that's something you're looking into on top of your main job. Next week, we'll wrap up with talking about how we can help set the future for our children.
Yeah.
College funds, all that good stuff. Actually, I have a book that I could recommend for that one, so maybe I'll get
Oh,
that
good.
up on the website too. So we'll wrap up Financial February and then we'll move into Mickey Mouse March.
Oh, it's going to be my favorite month ever.
This is probably going to be my favorite thing of all the things that we ever do.
I have so much to share. It will be overwhelming. So
yeah, we'll give you guys planning tips. We'll plan Nikki's 40th. It'll be a good time.
Bring on the 40s.
Right. They're not so bad. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.